I'm a professional musician here in Nashville, Tennessee, where playing hot chicken picking licks is the only way to survive. And today I want to show you 4 essential licks to play country music. So maybe you're not like a full-time country guitarist, or you're playing in a band that covers a lot of styles and you have a couple country songs and you want to know how to handle those songs, or if you're just trying to add some flavor to your phrasing, I think you might find this video useful. So let's get right to it. So the first lick is over the major pentatonic scale, and this is a very useful lick. I'm sure I've played it on other lessons. So let's do it over G right here. So I'm just using the notes from the major pentatonic scale, G major in this case, and also there's one passing tone, and that's it. So between the second and the major third here, I have a passing tone. And you start on G, on the root, and you end on G. So you can start all over again from here. And then it changes a little bit once you get to if you go through the B string, and so you got to be able to do that, but that's good thing to practice too. So once again, and I would totally practice this lick in every way possible. So let's say if you want to play like this, I used some open strings here, but those are the same notes, so you can, if you start with your pinky, if you're playing over G over here, for example, or if it's here. And once you learn this lick, you can build like entire solos using just that one lick. Let's say you're playing a blues song, so it's kind of, something like this. And you don't have to actually play that exactly the same way. You can kind of create variations of it. I always talk about this. This is very important because that way you don't have to learn like 1,000 different licks. You can just learn a few that you can mess with and make it fit to whatever situation you're in. So just another example of changing a few things around with those same notes, same lick idea, and building a whole solo around it. Let's go to the next one. So now we're going to do some double stops using the minor pentatonic and adding one note from the major pentatonic. So let's keep it in G. G minor pentatonic is right here. And here's our lick. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're actually adding a couple notes from the major pentatonic. Let me show you. So all minor. Right here, we could think of this as like a C going back to G, but that note right here, the E, that's on the G major pentatonic. And this one is on G minor. And then we're doing this hammer on the G string from the minor third to the major third, and of course the major third is on the major G major pentatonic scale. So we're just mixing just a little bit to get that cool chicken picking sound, which does that a lot. All the country players, they do rely on that recipe a lot. Mixing the minor pentatonic scale with the major to get both the happy upbeat sound and the bluesy one. So it's very visual. You can see the chord here. Of course you can hear it too, but it's very visual. You can see the chord, and always try to relate it to chord shapes when you're playing country music. I have another video talking about phrasing, and I talk about that a lot, so make sure you check that out if you want to know more about how to apply the scales over chord shapes and have a better flow when you're improvising or creating. So you can move this this lick around as well, you know, and if we're playing, again, kind of a country bluesy progression, it would sound something like this. Another great lick. You can even use this on like rhythm parts, you know, if you're playing something train beat fast and stuff, and maybe between the lines of the verses or something, you can do that lick, you know. Let's go to the next one now. We're going to talk about some intervals now, and let me show the lick first. But just using those types of intervals. Some people like to think of it as like sixes. I don't really think about it much. I know which scale I'm using and kind of memorize the pattern, you know, but sometimes when I'm doing this over G, for example, I'm thinking this is the root and this is the major third, right? And if I get here, you know, there's another G here, so it would be then the fifth and the third. But just knowing how to play like a whole scale with those intervals, you know, it's very useful. Let's do it in E now. Let's say you're doing a ballad in E. You can kind of outline those chords with those types of intervals, you know, and licks like that, you know. So basically, you know, I know the E scale using these intervals. And that's the E major scale. You know, just using those. Those types of intervals, you know, you can call it sixes, like I said, but depending on where you put them, they're gonna mean something different, you know, in relation to the chord that's ringing, you know, that the band's playing behind you or whatever. Now, if we're doing something more bluesy, you might want to go Mixolydian with it, you know, and have the flat seven. And that would sound, you know, something like so if you let's go to A now, and if we're doing something like kind of with that rhythm, so I'm going to change to D as well. Then E. chords, you know. And like I said, if it's bluesy, you want to go mixolydian. If it's just more like a ballad, major sound, then you want to go major. And those are just two examples, but you find a way to use that sort of sound and that sort of playing, you know, those intervals with any situation. You know, you can always find the way to use it, and it sounds cool. You know, it's a very common thing to do in country guitar playing. You can add like some passing tones to that as well. Let's say you're doing A major, so I can do. You can be creative with it. The last lick I want to show you is another like kind of double stop idea around a chord shape as well. Let's do this one in A, but let's use this A shape right here. So it's like a D shape. So we're going to do these three notes, and we're going to add a pull off on the B string here to the flat 7. So you have the root here, and the flat 7 is going to be a whole step down. So you see I'm playing the G string with my pick, and then with my two fingers, my middle finger and my ring finger, I'm playing the B string and the E string simultaneously. So just doing some pull-offs and creating something that's interesting. You know, the rhythm is interesting and it's percussive. And being that we're using the flat 7, this is especially going to work on bluesy stuff, you know. You might have to change it around a little bit to fit different situations, but that's the point of the whole video. I'm just giving you guys some ideas, and you can play around with it depending on where you need to apply them. But let's say we're playing a blues thing in A again, kind of a bluesy thing. Cool lick. And you know, with these 4 licks, honestly, I mean, you can play solos all night just creating variations of these 4 licks. I'm gonna improvise a little bit here and try to stick to the plan here, not do anything outside of what we talked about, just using those 4 licks, and let's see what happens. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you want to have access to the tabs, the PDF tabs to the licks, make sure you check out my Patreon. I'm going to leave the link on the description, as well as my instructional video that's for sale. And please make sure you subscribe and click like and share it with your friends. Let me know if there's anything you would like to see me talking about on this channel. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.